Alright, I really need some help here. I got these two really old games in my head, but I cannot remember what their names are. So the first game does have a very generic premise. You play as a silent protagonist with amnesia who's also a space marine that's on a planet that I think is Earth. You, along with several other badass space marines, have to fight them. They're like some kind of giant like bug monster things, and you have to like destroy their hives, which are these giant ball things with yellow holes all over them, with these long branching stem things that hit into the ground. What made this particular game unique is that you get a motorcycle that can turn into a backpack. This was a game I played on the PS2, so there were some limitations to that, but I remember that you get this badass motorcycle that can turn into a backpack and can turn, again, that's the main thing that I remember, a motorcycle backpack. Now, the other game, I actually remember the intro fairly well. But the premise for this one, though, is that you play as like a guy called a Flesh Weaver or something like that. And he has the ability to transform into this giant badass monster with a really big gun and a weird chameleon dog hybrid thing with a tongue that can latch on to shit. And in his primary form, he's got this badass suit and can carry a sword around. And the premise there is that you play as a group of, I think, mercenaries whose job is to find this guy who's supposed to have been like the greatest flesh weaver of all time or something like that. And I remember that they were listening to like the last transmission that they ever got of the guy was saying about how he, quotes, got new flesh and stuff like that, saying how he was ascending to godhood or something like that. But then they get attacked, their ship gets destroyed, and the guy you play as is flung out of the ship and landing on a planet, but he ends up surviving, and the fucking walls are talking to you saying that they saved your life and made improvements to you so that you can help them stop their father or some shit. It gets weird, but I do remember how cool it actually was. But again, I cannot remember what either of those games are. All I remember is that I played both of them on the PS2 when I was, I think it was back between 2000, like sometime before 2006, I think? I don't remember.